we are rolling.
Let's do it.
Yeah. Here we are, another episode, If You Will Podcast, Season 6. And
We're
right
here.
now, we're here. And I believe I have Emily Yacina coming in from Long Beach, California.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah. Thanks
Emily,
for having
we're on
me.
opposite coasts, so we're covered in snow, and you must be covered in beautiful sun.
Yeah, it's been the past couple days, it's been gorgeous. So there's lots of like really crazy rain probably a week ago, which was really uncommon, but
Right.
we're back in the sunshine.
And you're familiar with these crazy East Coast temperate climates.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
come from Philly originally.
Yeah, I'm from outside of Philadelphia. So I do miss the intensity of like the seasonal changes on the East Coast. I feel like it was really helpful for me to like, I don't know, mark memory and yeah, just the sensory intensity of it all the seasons changing. I miss kind of, yeah.
You know, the only real part I really love when the snow first comes is the silence.
Yes.
There's no bugs, there's no birds. Most of them have taken off. They're like, the hell with this snow, we're out of here.
Yes.
And we're left with this quiet, silent, pillowy, white stage that's left. It's really quite remarkable.
It is magical. I do miss that. Yeah.
Just for a while, though.
Just for a while.
After
yeah.
like
I'll take
2 or
it
3
once.
days.
Then you're over it. Yeah.
So Emily's a singer-songwriter. She is very into doing it herself. It's a DIY music that she's been creating now since 2011, which is where, I mean, if you want to go feast on a Bandcamp page, go to Emily's Bandcamp page, because it is just full of amazing songs and releases, LPs, EPs, you name it. And all the lyrics mostly are there. So I always love listening to the lyrics, following them as you sing along.
Yeah.
And it's a really nice, dreamy, folky, indie palette that you've created, Emily. Where did it all start? Like, I'm aware I've been kind of looking into your past a little bit, and I do know that you went to school with Alex G way back.
Yeah.
But how about we rewind even further back than that? Like, when was it that music for you was who you were going to be? Like, did you have a sense of that at a very young age, that music was just going to be a part of who you were?
Oh my gosh. It took me a really long time to accept, I guess, that it would be my main thing. And I think there was a lot of fear, sort of, you know, I've always done it for fun. And it's always been this like very special, sort of like precious part of my life and how I process things that happen in my life. And yeah, I think when I look back on it, I think I did feel some reluctance to sort of like embrace music as my full-time thing. And I think I was, you know, nervous, like, okay, if I do go on this path, and it doesn't work for whatever reason, you know, just like a lot of anxiety and fear, like that would be devastating. So it was almost better for me to keep it as this like semi-casual thing that I had in my life. And that was a way for me to kind of like protect my relationship with it. So I feel like I'm still honestly catching up to the reality that now I do get to do this most of my time. And which is so amazing. It's like totally you know, it's a mind F for sure. I feel really thankful, but no, I did not think like when I first started that this would be my main thing. And I'm so grateful that it is. But yeah, I went to school for like environmental studies. So a lot different. Yeah.
And I mean, not to, I found a video of you like when, I don't know, 12 years ago, 13 years ago, looked at a house party.
Yeah.
Like, those were the beginning kind of buds that started to
Sure.
percolate for when you like as your music kind of started up.
Yeah, I feel so lucky, like just where I was physically. I was right outside of Philadelphia,
Yeah.
when I was in high school. And yeah, I met Alex when I was a freshman in high school, and through him met a bunch of other musicians. And so it was really like this very formative, mind-opening time for me. And because of where I was physically, there was always shows happening in
Mm,
Philly, lots of house shows around like Temple University. And yeah, I don't know. I just like jumped into once I sort of like discovered that this was a thing and this was
right.
a whole world. And I feel really lucky because I don't know, it's like a young, like 15, 14-year-old girl to like have the experiences of like playing at
Yeah.
a show and having everyone's attention,
Yeah.
um, I think was really good for me and
Yeah.
sort of like encouraged me to just keep doing it no matter what the, context was.
Yeah. Totally.
So
Was it, I
yeah.
mean, I think like at 13, 14, I remember where I was at. And I mean, I don't think I would have had the courage or the bravery to pen a song and then like, here, let me play it for you. Like, I
I
know I would have
know.
never been able to do that.
I think a lot of that, like the confidence was like a lot of those, they at the time it was like older kids, like to me,
Okay.
who I really looked up to,
Yeah.
who, yeah, sort of just were encouraged. And it was almost like I couldn't say no because I
Mm,
like wanted to be a part of it and be a part of their world so badly. Um, so yeah,
yeah.
it's kind of like I didn't even think about it. I was just like, I'm gonna do this, and
Right. Yeah.
it ended up being really great for
Yeah.
me. Yeah.
It's amazing when you put your mind to it and you're like, even if you have all you these perceived barriers in front of you, like, oh, I can't because of this, and oh, what if that happens? Or like eventually those have to be in the past and you have to just keep looking
You
forward.
have
And
to
I
just
think that
do
you were
it.
able to connect
Yeah.
with that super young, like
Yeah.
with that.
Yeah.
Can you kind of paint us like how those beginning years were with when you were writing music and putting it out and putting yourself up on stage and singing in front of people? Like what were some of the struggles and also some of the amazing times? Because I'm sure it wasn't all easy. What were
Yeah.
some of those walls that maybe you hit and then overcoming them?
Um, that's a great question. Well, the first memory that sort of comes to mind is I have a friend Abby who is still in the Philadelphia area, and they were very helpful, just like a kind of like a guide into this world.
Mm,
They're also a little bit older than me. And I think the first time that I performed, it was with them, and they had their own songs that they were playing, and then I had a few that I had written, and we would switch and sing harmonies on each other's songs. And so they ended up booking a show at this place called the Maggot House, which is no longer around, but that was like outside of a Temple area. And I do remember being really nervous, but I also remember feeling like, oh, I'm with Abby, so
mm,
it's gonna be fine.
yeah.
And they had done that before. So but I do have a really vivid memory of using their roommate's bike and biking with them to the show and then back to their apartment after and feeling really I don't yeah, just the whole experience really affected me. I remember feeling like just really excited about
Cool.
playing music
Yeah.
and going to more shows and meeting more people.
Do you
So
find that at that time that like that feeling after that show was like, I got to do this again. I got to find another opportunity. I got
yeah.
to like keep this cycle
Yeah.
happening. Yeah.
For sure. Yeah, I loved it. And yeah, I felt so encouraged by, you know, just like having people's attention
Yeah.
and yeah, wanted to keep playing for sure.
Yeah.
And at the time, I haven't been to Philly in a while or spent a significant amount of time there, but yeah, at that time it was such a like hub for music and shows, and each night of the week you could pick, between like 5 different shows to go to at all of these different DIY venues. So I think just getting that little entry into that world was so exciting and led to a bunch of other different experiences and cool shows and meeting people who I still talk to. Yeah, I met Greta from Frankie Cosmos. She had a show when I was in high school at this DIY venue in West Philly called the Golden Tea House. And I don't know if we talked during that show, but I remember that was like the first night that I heard her music and I became a big fan. And she had just put out Zentropy, which was like her first studio record. And I was super inspired. But yeah, we since then became friends and we went on a tour together recently. And so there are all of these sort of seeds that were planted during that time that I'm still sort of like getting the fruits of now, like years later, which is cool. Yeah.
I mean, all that time invested in those relationships built.
Yeah.
I mean, they do pay off down the road eventually.
They do.
You might not see it immediately, but
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I agree.
And Emily, how do you come about writing? Like, what's your songwriting process that you go through? Do you have a routine that you follow, or like, how do your songs begin? Will it be a phrase that you just get caught in your head, or a melody maybe?
Like, either one of those. Yeah. Sure. I will sometimes have ideas for phrases and will be writing those down as I just like go about my day. Sometimes it is a melody, just like a really small line that I'll put on my phone in my voice memos. So yeah, I would say it's mostly, it starts with just a tiny piece and then I build around it. But usually they're all like from, inspired by personal experience. And yeah, it's kind of my way of processing relationships and emotions. And I often feel like a song comes to be when there's like sort of nothing else to do with the feeling, and the feeling feels really big, and it's like, what do I do with this? So I feel really lucky that I have songwriting as sort of a tool to, explore those really big feelings. Yeah.
And do those come out as well in times of joy and love and happiness and excitement?
I think so, but I do find that it's more common that it happens when it's like a stuck sort of feeling, maybe like more sadness or grief or I think the whole idea of like not knowing what to do with this uncomfortable emotion that will often, a song will come from that rather. And then if I'm feeling good and happy, then I just sort of want to like live my life. But if I'm feeling like in a dark headspace, that is sort of like where songwriting comes. Exactly. So yeah,
that's interesting.
Yeah.
And when you go about, like, we're talking a little bit at the start of this of like just putting yourself out there, and with it, when you're putting yourself out there musically and lyrically, like you're kind of opening. Somebody referred to it as, opening in my journal and just saying, here, you can have a read if you want.
Yeah.
It becomes a very, like, I had to deal with this, get it out, put it in a box. I put it in a song, and now I'm going to let you guys listen to it. How do you deal with that? The wanting to get it out, but still that kind of like, this, I don't know.
It's so personal.
Is the world ready to hear
totally. Yeah. No, I do definitely always feel some trepidation before putting music out because it is very personal. But I guess my hope is that even though it's from like my own experiences, that people will be able to relate to whatever it is. So yeah, I guess I'm hoping that whatever specific feeling inspired a song, other people have felt that before in their own relationships or their own lives. And I think that's like kind of the power of music and songwriting is it doesn't have to be about you
Mm,
directly, but if it inspires you, it feels like it speaks to you
totally.
and your own experience, which I think is really cool. Yeah.
Yeah, I love that. I mean,
Yeah.
in the end too, we feel similar things in life. You
Exactly.
know, and
Yes.
it's good when
Yes.
somebody can put it to words into a melody, and you're
Yeah.
like, yes, that's how I
Yes.
felt.
Yes.
I think
Exactly.
you do a lot of. I think singer songwriters do a tremendous amount of work for the rest of us to kind of manage things at time, um,
Yeah.
so that you're not feeling like you're all alone feeling these things when these feelings tend to be quite universal.
Yeah. Exactly. Exactly.
And how have you found that you've matured with your music over time? Now, you've always been kind of a do-it-yourself musician, right?
Yeah.
You like that I don't want to say control, but you like
It
to
is. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
navigate your way, right? Like you have your
Yeah.
sound. How has that evolved over time? Like your first record you put out in 2011, you just
Yeah.
put one out in 2025, so there's a nice gap of space there. How have you felt your evolution has happened over this last decade?
Well, I do feel like in the beginning, I love to have control. I didn't really like to have anyone else touch any of the songs. And I think just uh, getting to a point, this is another example. It's like, okay, it was that sort of fear-based or like from from, like a true place of I think it's probably both. But I think I
Mm,
got to a point where I was making this record, like I had my demos, and I sort of was like feeling, like this fear of letting other people in, which is funny because like I feel like that's thematically like what a lot of the record is about.
right.
Um, and then I think I just surrendered or got to a point where I was like, I want these songs to be bigger and
Mm,
to involve more people and musicians. And I sort of let go of that control
mm,
a little bit, which ended up being a very freeing
mm,
experience and was
yeah.
really, really helpful to me. Like getting into the mindset, like, okay, I might not be able to add like this classical piano part on
Mm,
top of this song, but I know someone who can, and just sort of like letting people in so it becomes bigger than what I just myself could have done. So I
mm,
think that was a
mm,
real like learning experience for me in the way of surrender and
right, right.
just sort of like the beauty of yeah letting other people in and why not. So
Mm,
there it felt like I got over a lot of fear, I guess, when I worked
right.
on this record, which made me really excited about just the future and yeah, the
Mm,
possibilities for songs. Like anything that I could imagine, like I just need to think of someone who, can play violin and ask them
mhm,
if they're available. And like it's really just as simple as that. So
right.
that was very exciting to
Right.
me. Yeah.
And I guess all those seeds that you throughout this last decade, you can
Yeah.
call upon now too, right?
Exactly.
Those
Yeah.
relationships, and
Yeah. Yeah.
that's cool.
Absolutely. So my friend Johnny, who really helped me see it through to the end. I remember having such a clear realization, like I need someone to like
Mm,
be with me to help me see it through. And yeah, just the giving up of control was like very scary to me. But it ended up being so fruitful. And Johnny I had met on like one of my first tours. He
mm,
plays in the band Florist.
right,
I think we went on tour in like 2015 or something. And
right.
yeah, so just these people that I've met along the way who I feel, akin to. And
Yeah,
it ended up being really fun too, which I
yeah,
think is always sort of my like guiding light. Like, will this
right,
feel
right.
good? Will this be fun? And we had a great time. So
And were there things that you learned from just the recording process with this latest record that
yeah.
again kind of shocked you, or like gave you an
Yeah.
aha moment? Or
I think like a lot of the different studios that we worked in were definitely new territory for me, and just sort of realizing like, oh, there are people who do like the technological side of production and audio
right,
engineering, and that's really their expertise, and it's sort of like a black hole of knowledge. Like there's always more to learn. And I think I sort of that was really clear to me working on this record and working with the different audio engineers and feeling a lot of gratitude for being in the same spaces as them. And yeah, I feel like a lot of the technological elements were definitely new to me. And it was cool just to like witness that and be a
Take
part of
notes
it.
maybe for your next
Yeah,
kind of solo. Okay, I'm gonna go back and
exactly.
take all these lessons.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Right on.
Yeah.
And we kind of looking back, like, so the record came out, Veil Fall in September, in September on the 26th. So you've had a
Yeah.
little bit of distance here. You've put this out. You've been out on the road as well. You've been doing some touring with this record
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah.
How is it being received in your mind, and is it hitting the mark that you wanted to hit? I mean, I guess it's hard to. I like asking this question, but I know it's a hard one to answer because how could you read people's brains? But
Sure.
just kind of reacting to when you go up and are doing shows and meeting people during the concerts, and like
Yeah.
how's been the response in your opinion?
It's been really awesome, and I feel like a lot of people have been super receptive to it. It's funny, like I worked on this record for a really long time. It took me years to
Hmm.
sort of get it to the point where I wanted to put it out there. And it had also been my goalpost, like just in
Hmm.
my life for a
Right.
really long time. Like
Right.
whenever I would ask myself, like, what am I doing? I'd be like, oh, I'm doing this record. And, you know, like and then when it comes out, it's just, I think a lot of like artists could relate to this, but just releasing something that you've been working on something for so long,
Hmm.
can feel sort of disorienting and realizing, okay, like now it's out in the world. It has been sort of like my marker for so long. Now what? You know?
Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
I remember feeling excited, like so excited to put it out, but also that first week feeling really like sort of destabilized and
Yeah. Yeah.
like this ground that I had underneath me for a really long time where I kept it to myself and was very precious was kind of like taken out from
Mm.
under me. And then yeah, just sort of surrendering. I remember like having this feeling, I think on the fourth day, like after it had come out, like I don't have control over how it's received and after this point, you know, and sort of like relinquishing that control a little bit and just reminding myself like, you know, I've done what I can do and now it is out there and I have to like let go. And yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
I've
Yeah.
heard from a ton of musicians that exact, like, all the work, the meticulous aspects of putting a record out, you know,
Yeah.
just from the mixing to the instrumentation to the lyrics to the packaging to the artwork, like there's so
Yes.
much, and it becomes kind of
Yes.
like a child almost, right? And then, all right,
Yes.
release date, you're off, you're going to college, bye, you're kicking out of the nest.
Exactly.
It's like, all
Exactly.
right, what
Yeah.
now? I
It was
totally
like,
hear you
what
on that.
now? Yeah, for
Yeah.
real. So
Yeah.
that I almost could like foresee that feeling too,
Right.
like
Right.
ahead of releasing it. And yeah, it
Yeah.
was just a funny thing. I was like, oh, this here we are, like in this sort of
Yeah.
freaky, like nebulous
One
space,
one
you
artist
know.
told me this story of like, so you know, and he worked on this for years, this record. And the day of the release, he's just like kind of waiting around, thinking people are gonna like reach out or call
Yeah.
or like something big's gonna happen. He just sat there all day, like, this is release
Okay.
day.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
really, I thought,
Yeah.
or
I
I
know.
expected, or I don't know, like,
I
um,
know. I had to like remind myself, you know, because I feel like the way that music is like ingested these days, like it's a lot of it, you know, because of social media or
mm,
whatever, like I could tell I was like hoping for like a song or like a couple of them to like
mm,
go viral or
right,
something. And
right,
I remember like just being like, oh, I really just want like something from like the record to like blow up and sort of had to remind myself like that's not the point.
Right.
Like
Right.
it's kind of freaky that at this point, just how music is put out into the world, that has so much emphasis like on how it's received on something
Mhm.
like TikTok or
Right.
a social media platform, and yeah, just really having to remind myself like that is not the point
Yeah.
of why
Totally.
I do this, you know?
It's a
Yeah.
really tough business, eh? And
Yeah.
it seems like it's getting tougher and tougher, more obstacles, less opportunities. I mean, it just seems like that is a flow of, the all these streaming services, less shows happening, less bars open,
Yes.
kid people not going out anymore. Like all of these like
Yes.
structural changes are going on. How do you keep yourself going, Emily? Like how do you keep yourself with your eye on the prize that this is something I need to do? I know it's super tough
Yeah.
to do. Like how do you keep pushing yourself forward every day or every year or every decade? Like how does that work for you?
Yeah, yeah. Well, I think the what came to mind when you asked that was this tour that I went on in October. It was the first time that I toured since I think like 2019, since pre-COVID. And I was really nervous about like just it going okay, and
Mm-hmm.
like just hoping that everything would be fine. And there were like the usual hiccups, but
Sure.
I think mostly I was reminded like, wait, this is so doable and I'm like very
Mm-hmm.
capable of doing this. And with that came a feeling of like, I don't know, like the abundant, like I was just like listening to music every night and talking to different people about music. And I remember like I went home from the tour and sort of still feel this, which is like I can just keep making things. Like there's no shortage of like time or space, or there's no little amount of gas
Right.
that like it's all there. Like I can just
Right.
keep, it's a
Right.
stream, it's a steady
Yeah.
stream, and like I can keep doing it.
I love that. I love that.
Yeah, yeah. So I do feel that sort of like optimism right now,
Yeah.
which is just like I can just keep doing it, and that's great,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like continuously finding the inspiration and the
Yeah,
will to do it, right? You
exactly.
got to have the
Yeah.
will, or it just kind of like, well, maybe I'll
Yeah.
start baking or something,
Exactly.
whatever, you know.
Yeah.
Um, Emily, this has been fascinating. It's such a great chat with you. I really appreciate your time.
Thank
Maybe just to
you.
wrap things, is we're talking about the future here. Like what can you tell us about what's coming down the pipe for 2026 with your music?
Yeah, I have a few more tours that are being planned right now, which I'm
Hmm.
super stoked about. And yeah, I think I am carrying sort of that optimism from the last tour into
Hmm.
this year, which is just to keep making things. And so yeah, who knows what will come of those things, but I yeah, feel really inspired at the moment and just want to keep scheduling time at studios and getting more people involved. So I feel very yeah, d- excited about the
Cool.
future and just
Love
the
it.
different songs that are gonna come.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Well, if you're excited, then all of your fans out there are very excited to hear this, that, you know, the boat's going to chug down that stream no matter what, like it's
Exactly.
it's going with
Yeah.
the flow. And um I'm really happy that you put this record out. I know it probably was a lot of blood, sweat and tears, but
Yes.
having it out in the world is we're all the better for it. I really love
Thank
your lyrics and
you.
how you assemble songs. People go check out Emily if she's in a town near you. Buy a ticket, go get an album, go say hello, get a shirt. Support these indie artists. They need your support more than ever right now, so that they can keep doing what they do in creation.
Yeah.
So I hope that you have all the best in 2026. I'm rooting for you, Emily. I'm
Thank
really
you,
happy to
Chris.
have this record as
Hell
vestiges
yeah.
of a past in your whole Bandcamp page. There's so many records I'm gonna revisit.
Cool.
But thanks so much for your time and your thoughtful answers to the questions. It's been really, really a pleasure.
Thank you so much. Thanks for listening.
Talk me